move us back into open session. Declare us back in. I don't know why I keep saying move. Declare us back in open session. Okay, action items. Approval of financial statements.
So moved.
Second.
Ellen, Dan, any discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Abstentions? One abstention. Jess Richards, plus she wasn't here, we can't ask her to vote on some shit.
That's the abstention.
Okay, approval of snow removal contract.
So moved.
Dan,
Second.
second, John. Discussion.
Yeah, I'm gonna vote against it, not necessarily because I think it's a bad contract. Basically, want to voice my opinion that I would much rather have such a large change in how we operate in an area such as this, be part of our annual budget discussion, and have a little more thoughtfulness in the deliberation of the longer-term implications of making this change from in-house to privatization.
All those in favor? Opposed? Abstention? One opposed, Mr. Nargi, one abstention. Approval of the TDA contract.
So moved.
Oh, Bill beat you. Helen, he'll be a second. Discussion. I would like to recognize the people in the crowd from our TDA negotiation committee and say that I, in my years on the board, have not bumped into a more agreeable and workable group. I'd like to thank you guys for some great sessions.
We agree.
We agree.
All right. All those in favor? Opposed? Abstention? One abstention. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Policy 3050, school activity fund.
So moved.
Helen. Second. John. Discussion? All
On
those-
page, on page 16, all we did was take out the name of the position and just left the position in there. So we just left the title and took out the person's name.
What position are we talking about?
Director of Business Services.
Okay.
It's the school activity fund
Right,
policy.
this is something that was talked about at that
Yes.
policy meeting.
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
Just wanted to make sure I remembered that.
You did.
All those in favor? Opposed? One abstention. Policy 3063,
Clarification, it's 5063?
5063. Policy, I should have known that from before. Policy 5063.
So moved.
Ellen, second. John. Discussion? All those in favor? One abstention.
What's that?
The consent agenda. Motion for the consent agenda. Dan, second.
Second.
Ellen. Discussion?
What item are we on? I'm sorry.
I'm sorry,
Consent
consent
agenda.
agenda.
Oh,
Consent agenda. Discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? One abstention. Motion to approve the nurses' contract.
So moved.
Dan.
Second.
Bill. Discussion?
What is it?
It was the continuation from last year with the 1579, the nurses negotiate separately. We finally finished the negotiation on their contract to mirror the rest of 1579's negotiation from June.
So they got the same deal as everyone else?
Same
in
deal as
1579.
everyone else. So same insurance, same percentage raises for the next 3 years.
Is the nursing supervisor still in?
Yeah.
It is still included in the budget, yes.
They posted.
The nurse.
Yes. We are actively seeking a nurse supervisor.
The nurses have agreed.
They were very eager. That was one of their primary points during the negotiation, was to have a nurse supervisor
We need to fill that.
position as soon as possible.
But, I mean, we're going on a year and a half of that. They So if it's in there,
Yes,
We
and
need
prior to
work
that,
to
it
do
was
it.
done by a former HR person,
right,
so, yes, but, nope.
in the future, because I would like to see what we're approving. I mean, so I'm gonna abstain only because I don't even know what I'm voting on, so.
Any other discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Abstaining? 3 abstentions. They are Mr. Knight. Comments for the good of the order? Eleanor, we'll start with you. Nothing? John?
Wetmore, Boulder Wetmore Veterans Day ceremony went beautifully. Hundreds of kids, the highlight was the first grade singing your grand old flag, but, you know, everything else was great too.
Dave? Yeah.
I'd like to see the board look a little bit farther at a future meeting. We talked at budget about the winter bus for the walkers within the radius of the high school, and Mr. Cotter looked into it, but there's actually 300 students that are walking to Torrington High School, so it's a higher number than I thought there was. But my question really is, I'm still not understanding how we have all-day kindergarten now, so we've eliminated all those runs in the middle of the day, but there's no cost savings of transportation for the elimination of those middle-of-the-day routes. So I would like some answers, basically, because I would think that there'd be some way we could swap those middle-of-the-day runs to try to pick up some transportation for these 300 students that are walking.
Okay.
So I just would like some answers on that.
Okay. Ellen? Jess? Bill?
The PTO activities at Torringford are going very well. The PTO meetings that I've attended have been well attended, which is not been has not always been the case. FYI, the PTO is gratified that I was appointed to the board, which was nice of them to tell me. But their fundraisers and activities through the PTO is going well, and so far there have been no bus issues with the half-day professional development on the third Thursday of the month.
Thank you. Andrew?
Last week, we had at the high school, a police and dog, whatever you want to call it, done. And afterwards, as a board member, didn't receive any email of what transpired, how it went, and just wondering why we're getting, as board members, no communication from the administration, what's transpiring on events like that. The only way I know about it is from reading about it in the newspaper. I think as board members, we should know what's going on. It's a pretty big event.
Actually, it was nice and calm, and
Well,
they came in and there were no drugs or anything found, and it was really instruction.
you don't always
continued.
have to email us bad information, you can email us some good stuff.
Fair enough. Okay. I'd like to welcome Jess to our board. That's all I have. Well, we might make it. Committee reports, budget. I didn't make the meeting as interim chair. You came, we went, we met, things went well. Thank you. Yes, sir. Okay. Grievance.
Grievance has been busy. Very busy. So we've settled 2, and we have 2 in, that we're constantly reconvening with them.
Personnel.
Obviously, you saw the report from this month. We have asked for will finer detail on non-unique experiences on a monthly basis, so people that are reoccurring will come as a separate line item without the names attached, just so we know how many are repeats. Also, we are waiting in December to get to the 6-month mark to see where we are with the production monitors for each of the departments at central office for their policy and procedure manuals, which are due by the end of the year.
Policy.
We got the last piece of the wellness policy, number 5071, which is the wellness committee's members, so that will be added. And we're working on a lot of different things. Busy.
School improvement TV. John, THS, oversight.
The School Governance Council is looking for new members, had a full complement and then lost some members. Andrew Marchand is the contact person there for anyone who might be interested.
Turf.
I can't really say much more than what the emails that were sent to the board from Mario Bambaguco and Tim Waldron. I don't know if you've read those emails, but basically the state in its wisdom to cut as many trees as possible has created this huge gap between the highway and the field so that any flying things off the field may be going into the highway. So that became an additional expense of about $10,000, but we're working at trying to get either donations basically to try and get a fence up. And then the other aspect was Mr. Waldron, I assume, emailed the board telling that the board shouldn't be very concerned about the health aspects of the field, that it's been well vented at the state level, and we should be a nice, healthy facility.
Who got that?
What's that?
Who got that?
Mr. Waldron.
Not the board.
I didn't do that. No, I didn't.
I didn't get it either.
At 11:43 this morning, he sent it to me, Andrew, Eleanor, Ed, Mario, Michelle, Dave Bissetta, and Michael Kavanaugh. So I'll forward that on.
Forward that on, and also have them look into the National Institute of Health, their position on the field, so
Okay, we'll discuss that again.
we should. Yes,
Well,
also.
I think to follow up on the turf there, it's, trying to get to it. The board is not, trying to get to the original email from Mr. Longabuco. It's not, it's not our field.
Okay.
When it's finalized, it'll be turned over. The ADA savings that continue to be brought up are ADA savings over the upcoming 3 years, not this year, next year, the year after. So it's not like we have a wad of cash sitting in our capital account. It's something that can be budgeted for, which has been discussed with the committee numerous times. If they give us something, we can work it into our budget, we'll see if we can do it. But it's not that, you know, the turf field out here has created an overwhelming savings that the district is just sitting on a pot of gold, you know, and the implications that we are, and the negativity is something I hoped was gonna stop when I got off it, because I felt a lot of it was directed at me. But it's not that we're not trying to help, but at this point, the response that was given to them was very simple, that it is a city project, and in that case, they report to the city council. If they need the money, they should go to the city council, who is represented by the mayor, who would then come to us and ask us. But, to send an angry email, I just don't think is warranted. It doesn't help the case, it just gets everybody mad. But, if they need the money, they go to city council, which is, officiated by the mayor, and then the mayor would bring that information to us, I'm assuming. I don't mean to speak for you, Eleanor, but.
No, and I guess the question I would have, to be honest with you, is this netting, I don't look at this netting as a capital improvement to the field. I look at this as, very honestly, an operating expense for the Board of Education. This netting isn't going to last a long time. I think it's going to have to be replaced on a regular basis. So I guess I would respectfully disagree that the board couldn't look at this as an operating expense that guarantees the safety of the kids that are playing in the field.
I'd just like to say that at the meeting, I brought up the issue that I believe that the state really should pay for this. They're the ones that created the basically hazardous situation, and I think
As a
think
result
Mr.
of the
Waldron
treatment?
might be talking to the state. It's just, we're looking at all avenues. I mean, we're as a committee, there is no hostility. If you think that's what's happening, we're just, if we can raise the money, we'll raise the money. If not, we're just trying to exhaust all avenues to get the money, one way or the other. But maybe the state will be willing to pay for their destruction of trees.
Okay, can I get a motion to extend the meeting for 5 minutes? Ellen, second by Andrew. All those in favor? Opposed? 3 opposed. No, she voted. She can decide whether she wants to stay on.
I feel qualified to vote for that.
All right. Items for upcoming agenda, financial statements, committee reports, out-of-district tuition and transportation. We were hoping to have that for this month, but we didn't get it done in time.
No, we did.
No, they said we couldn't finish it at budget, so we needed
Sorry, strike that. Subcommittee assignments, I'm hoping to have our last new member soon so that we can reestablish our destroyed subcommittee list. Future meetings, policy, Wednesday, December 3rd at 6, personnel, Wednesday, December 10th at 6, budget, Wednesday, December 10th at 7. Next regular board meeting is Wednesday, December 17th. Motion to adjourn.
So moved. Second.
Ellen got it. We'll give Bill a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, we're out of here.